We are Tailgate Talk. Welcome to the show. I'm Matt Thomas. With me, we've got Trent Williams, Kyle Schumann. Busy week, news week going on. A lot of stuff going on in Penn State athletics. A lot of stuff going on for us as well. So I'll do a little brief public service announcement to get us going here. Kyle Mawhinney is no longer with us. No, just kidding. He'll be back at some point. But yeah, I know I got Coco's hopes up there. But
he is no longer with us. So now, so it's not a lie.
Yes. Thoughts and prayers for Kyle Mawhinney. But we are moving. Those of you that watched the show before know that I'm assistant editor over at Basic Blues Nation. Site is launching a series of podcasts, and we are going to be the first to move on over there because, well, quite frankly, we're ready. So there's going to be a series of shows, like I said, under the umbrella of Basic Blues Studios. If you're one of the 12 people that have watched this show from the beginning, nothing changes. You can still find us on our YouTube channel or our Apple, Spotify, however you listen. Socials are the same. But if you're coming to us from Basic Blues Nation, welcome. I'll give you a little bit of brief introduction so you're not surprised. This podcast abhors deep and thoughtful comments. We don't want to do that deep thinking stuff. There's a lot of, you can call them fan podcasts out there that like to pass themselves off as experts. That's not us. We're just here to have a good time. We're gonna, as the title of the show says, we're gonna talk about things the way we talk about it at our tailgate. So we'll touch on, the news of the day from college football around, beyond, betting lines, talk about food. We're gonna talk about food a lot. But hopefully you'll have as much fun with it as we do recording it. So without further ado, guys, it's been a while.
Feels good. Be back on the saddle here. It's been a while. You do a podcast with 3 accountants, Matt. So
yeah, spring football, bad time to.
Every other year the blue and white game falls either right after or right before the tax deadline. So it's always that crapshoot of like, can I go to the blue and white game or not? But I was gonna end up going anyway this year, but we can get into that a little bit later. But
yeah, well, Trent's not going anyway, so nothing like getting a.
Yeah. I mean, might as well bring. Matt mentioned
break the ice now.
The good time on wheels. We're always talking about the famous RV that we tailgate with. Catalytic converter was stolen off of it, so that's being repaired. So good time on wheels will not be making an appearance at the blue and white game this year, unfortunately. But it's getting fixed, so we'll be ready for football season.
Could do good time on 4 wheels, but I'm just glad to have you guys back because the last couple episodes I've been by myself or interviewing someone. So now I can just let Trent talk for the next 40 minutes because I won't get a word in edgewise. So it's gonna make it easy for me. But all right, let's jump into the news of the day. We're recording on Thursday, and our favorite son, Mike Rhoades, was introduced as Penn State basketball's next head coach. Obviously, 3 of us being from Schuylkill County, we are pretty happy with the decision. It's a big day for all of us in the 570 in the Skook. So guys, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm excited. I thought it was funny, Matt. You had sent the text where it's like nothing like introducing your new football coach and first stop is the football stadium. Your new basketball coach first stop is the football stadium. But no, I'm sure that wasn't his first stop. But no, I mean, I'm excited. I do think it's an odd time in the basketball program, right? I mean, the basketball program got a lot of attention, which is a good thing because the basketball program's not used to getting that attention at Penn State. But then with the departure of Shrewsbury, it sort of got the attention for the wrong reason the past few weeks. So it'll be interesting to see what he's coming into nothing. I mean, I can't imagine, there's many, when he's given that introductory speech in the locker room, there's not many players there he's talking to. So tough road ahead for him. I'm excited to see what he can do.
And I'm just hoping with his PA roots and everything, obviously as Franklin said, when he first started, we gotta win the recruiting battles here in Pennsylvania. We gotta recruit PA players because, I mean, let's be honest, we have 2 of the biggest basketball hotbeds in Philly and Pittsburgh. So we should be able to, and obviously Rhoades is coming from VCU. So now we have the Baltimore, DC markets, all areas down there. So hopefully we can, keep this, we do have some not many players on the team right now, but if we can bring in more talent and we're able to make we're able to make a tournament run with like a bunch of transfers and old players that weren't highly rated recruits. Let's see if we can finally break into Philly more. And wait, looking to say something, Matt?
No, I was just waiting for you to finish. I was going to go, but go ahead.
Sorry.
No,
No, you're good.
I was just, we don't have a team right now, to be completely honest with you. We've got like, but what's the count? I honestly have lost track. I think it's like 9 players lost, 10 players lost through graduation and transfer portal, whatnot. Although Mahaffey and I think some of the other guys that have put their name in the portal were there at the press conference today. But I just hope that, and Trent, you and I were talking about this the other day. Like, I hope that people just remember what the state of Penn State basketball is right now. And then when the season rolls around and, there's an opportunity with the transfer portal. I think there's 3 or 4 VCU guys already in the transfer portal since the news came out. Like, I just hope that people remember that. And if next year 1 isn't what everyone hopes it's going to be, like just remember that the state of Penn State basketball right now is not very good.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, he's coming into a tough spot. I do sort of like the parallels here between like, Bill O'Brien came in a tough spot and left us and wasn't there that long. And Franklin, the hometown guy, came back, the Pennsylvania boy with the Penn State heart, his famous line, came back. And I like the parallel to that here with Rhoades as well. So his contract is set up for, it's not, we're not expecting a quick turnaround as evidenced by his contract. I mean, it is something that I think Pat Kraft and crew know, like, you need some time to build a program, especially a program like Penn State that, does have a lot of areas it needs to improve.
And so, I mean, let's be honest, we can't expect like the expectation the past 2 years was we're happy to possibly make the tournament. We're not even like looking like, oh, we have to be in the tournament. We're all cheering like, wow, we won like 3 games in a row for our basketball team. And this year we're, head over heels that we actually made the tournament for the first time in how many years. So
yeah,
we can't expect to be perennial tournament team right now. That's not the expectation right now.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to take this season for what, I mean, it was a great season. I mean, you went from looking like there's a chance that, not even a chance, it was likely we weren't making the tournament, and then to turn it around and then have that run the Big Ten tournament, and then that game against Texas A&M. I mean, that's one of the best performances of the tournament. I mean, like, it's up there. I mean, that Texas A&M team was good, and we made them look silly. Like, and that Texas team is really good too, and put up a good fight against them. So, nothing to be ashamed of at all. But like I said, that team is gone. So
A&M still having nightmares of Funk just nailing 3 after 3 in their face. That was Texas is a clinic watching it.
Texas does not have that nightmare.
Yeah. So, do you guys think that Micah Shrewsbury left Penn State basketball in a better spot, or no?
No, I mean, I said this to you, Matt, but I don't think the program's in a better spot than when he arrived. I mean, it's odd. That's not taking anything away from what he did in his short time here. I mean, it was impressive, but he took over a team that was decent. I mean, Chambers, towards the end of his career at Penn State, he was on the brink of making the tournament again. He made the tournament in the COVID year where it was canceled. The program wasn't in shambles when Shrewsbury took over. I do think it's in shambles right now when Rhoades is taking over. So but with the transfer portal and the way it works nowadays, you can turn a program around so much faster than you could in years past as well.
But I think you can see the parallels with Chambers and Shrewsbury is that, at the beginning, things were tough, but if you give these guys resources, if you just give them time and trust the process, we can have a good basketball team at Penn State. And I think that's what we need we're investing at Pat Kraft. We're throwing the bag at Rhoades, and listen, we're just going to build it from the bottom up, and it's not going to be easy. It's going to be bad to watch at times, but I think we're on the same page that we will get there. Just how long it'll take to get there.
Yeah. The argument I would make is that because of what's happened over the last 6 weeks, I mean, really 8 weeks, the end of the regular season through March Madness, bringing to light some of the deficiencies that the program has, I think it might be painful now, but in the long run, I think you could say that Shrewsbury helped to make the program in a better place for that reason alone. But time will tell. The other point I want to make is, and we can talk about this because we, are from the same place that Mike Rhoades is from. A lot of people got upset when Shrewsbury left, feel like you're just a stepping stone. Like, I don't see that happening here. Like, I don't know about you guys. I've not met a person that has anything bad to say about the Rhoades family in Schuylkill County. Like, Rhoades' father, 7-term state senator. Obviously, that holds a special place in my heart because, I work in the state legislature. So, I Senator Argyle, who I worked for when I was still at Penn State, has a lot of his staff still. He took over from Senator Rhoades when he passed away. Nobody has anything bad to say about that family. So I think you want someone who's going to be a member of the community. You're going to have that in Mike Rhoades and the Rhoades family.
Yeah. And I think his tenure at VCU is evidence of that, right? I mean, I'm sure he's had opportunities to jump ship from VCU and he hasn't. So I think it's one of those situations where it takes a very unique and special circumstance to pull him away home, similar to what you could say about Shrewsbury. Like, it's hard to blame a guy for leaving to go home. So, yeah, I mean, I'm excited, but it is also, that time of year where basketball's over and it's time to look to the
if Winnie was actually here, this is where we would poke fun of him and say, how come no one from Berks County stepped up to go and be
that's why he's not here, because he knew that the debate between Berks County and Schuylkill County was over. So he just decided that he wasn't going to show up tonight. But it's okay, Winnie. You can come back next time. It's all good. So, so football, we can touch on that a little bit too. Was at spring practice on Tuesday night. First time that I've ever done that. Kind of like letting a fat kid loose in the candy store. I'm like, it's interesting. I just get interested by the process and how it works and how they shuffle you in and all that kind of stuff. Like, in terms of news, not a heck of a whole lot. Like you can speak to it too, Trent. Like it because you've been in there. Like, it's literally glorified warm-ups. Like, you don't see much.
Practice is fascinating, and obviously, that I've been in practice a few times as a student, and like when they know when there's media there, they like practice is very different from when media is there, when students are there, from a standard practice behind closed doors too. But yeah, I mean, it's not even about the process, like you said, Matt, is what's fascinating at practice, or just stupid stuff. Like, I like listening to the casual conversations the players were having on the sideline as they're sitting there. And like that kind of stuff is interesting. The stuff you're seeing on the field, not as much, which again, it's probably just because it is that time span you're there is a very dumbed down session that they're having. So,
yeah, I will say though, I was watching the defense. We had someone else on the offense, but looked down when Alar was letting a ball fly. And let me tell you, it's different when you're like 25 feet away, like at eye level. Like it comes off nice. But in terms of other stuff, like it's also hard to tell because, like, I'm sure it was the same way with you. You're in and then you're on the one sideline, but there's stuff going on the entire field. So like, secondary was in front of me, linebackers were there. I couldn't really see what was going on with the defensive line because they're for the most part of that 20 minutes, they're on the other side. Didn't see Tyler Eldson or Kobe King at middle linebacker, which is not surprising. They've been banged up a little bit this spring. That's kind of been circulating, rumbling a little bit over the last couple of weeks. So not surprising, but
the point of view is just fascinating too, right? We're so used to watching these guys in a bird's eye view from 110,000 seat Beaver Stadium. When you're on the sideline, it's so much different. Your perspective is so much different. Sort of like that whole debate with coordinators. Like, some coordinators like to be on the sideline where you can be in a player's face. You're there. Other coordinators like that booth where you could see the whole field and you see everything from a bird's eye view. So yeah, it is interesting, but nonetheless, it's awesome to get in the facilities and see practice actually take place, see coaches in their coaching element and not in that press conference element, which is the majority of the time that we get to see them. So it's awesome.
See, Tailgate Talk might be fortunate to have both circumstances this upcoming football season with some on-field possible people, and we'll have our bird's eye view in our nice WDU section after we all got our tickets. So we'll best of both worlds.
We sit close enough to the press box anyway, so we could just call ourselves media and be done with it.
We practically are press box. Now,
so
that's
also
great.
Abdul Carter, large human being. And I'm not just saying that for the search engine. Abdul Carter.
You're just learning that, huh?
Well, I mean, it's a lot different when you're 2 feet away from him. But also,
yeah,
and I'm
all those guys. It's crazy. I remember when I was a student on campus and PJ Mustapher would ride his bike by me, and I'd just be like, how do those tires support that man? Like,
Can I say one thing about Abdul Carter real quick? I know
you can say whatever you want, Coco.
After his first year,
you can't say that. Sponsors.
I can't say that.
No, because sponsors. No.
Okay. After Abdul Carter's first year, and what you've seen from him, will he leave a bigger impact than Micah Parsons?
Yeah, I think so.
It's so hard because Micah Parsons' time on the field was short. His time on the field was short. But
are we talking college career or pro career?
I'm saying wearing the Penn State uniform, will he leave a bigger impact? Than Micah Parsons?
Because he already has. He has just as many sacks this year as Parsons did in 2 years.
Yeah, on the field, it's obvious. I mean, he's going to be on the field, twice as much as Parsons was. But in terms of it's tough because Micah Parsons is doing a ton for this program right now as we speak in the NFL as well. Like, so it's like it's too soon to say.
It wouldn't put it past me to see. I mean, like you could talk like 2 years from now when Abdul eventually gets drafted, be a first round draft pick.
Well, we're also forgetting, Trent, that Coco doesn't like upperclassmen to play. So
that's true.
So this is
true.
This is really
as Matt was just Drew Alar for the past 2 minutes.
Rehashing old wounds, I see.
But I also, and I put it in the group chat, I have a man crush now on Manny Diaz, I think, because like there's no coach speak. There's no like politician, let's skirt around the issue. Like he just goes right into it. And it was fantastic. Like what stood out to me was basically he talked about basically like what is it like to be coming into year 2 now? You're not starting from scratch, all that kind of stuff. And he basically just shot that down. And he's like, no, we are starting from scratch. Every year you start at 0. And like in talking and how that ties into intensity and how you practice and all that kind of stuff. And it's encouraging to hear because the defense by the end of last season was just playing out of their minds.
We need that pep talk for our second year of the podcast here.
Yeah. Season 2 starts now, starting from 0, which I mean we basically are.
But what the viewers don't see, like before we hit that record button, Matt's giving us a whole pump up speech. He's just going off. It's fantastic.
Well, that's normally when he's here and he plays Fleetwood Mac on his record player, but we didn't have that tonight. So let's go with one player that you're looking forward to in spring ball. And I just pulled that out of my ass, so sorry if I caught you off guard.
No, I mean it has to be. It's so hard, right? Because I mean, it has to be Drew Alar.
It has exactly.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's just that's the whole focus. We've already seen these other young guys that I'm really excited for this year. We've seen what they could do on the field.
We've seen K-Tron. We've seen Nick. We've seen how
like Abdul Carter. We've seen those guys, and we know what they could do. Drew Alar is the question mark, so it has to be him.
Could be Bo Pagula too. We don't know.
The 2 quarterbacks.
It could be the line again with Tommy Stevens. But
who's your guy to look for, Matt? Then
I'm gonna go a little bit outside the box, and I'm gonna go just because I saw it the other night. I'm gonna go with Christian Driver. So we were there. So like basically the way it works, you go in for like 15-20 minutes at the beginning, and then you just wait around with your thumb up your ass for an hour and a half, and then you come back at the end.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I loved it. Sitting in my car, eating a sheets hoagie and writing a story was a great time. But go back for media availability, and players are filing out. Like when James Franklin's doing his stuff, there's still pretty much everyone's on the field, that kind of stuff. By the end, like 45 minutes later, Christian Driver, last one on the field, like still running routes, still doing all that kind of stuff for background, shifting from cornerback to wide receiver for this year. Son of Donald Driver of the Green Bay Packers. So
I thought Matt was going to go with like an offensive lineman because that would be very Matt-like.
Well,
I'm really looking forward to seeing the third string right guard.
That's we can say that now because we actually have depth on the offensive line. We can say that. Yeah. Like
see that. I mean that's what you come to Tailgate Talk for. You come to listen to Matt give real insightful information, and then Coco and I just ramble off the top of our head like a true fan does.
I'll talk about how I'm excited to have Mrs. McCona's cupcakes for the first tailgate. And Matt's going on about how much the third string right tackle or right guard squatted as a freshman this offseason or whatever.
Oh, gosh. Franklin's upset the media is asking him about, the West Virginia game plan. And here's Coco talking about his food plan for the first game. So
he's probably already got his tailgate spread mapped.
It's already established that we're deep frying. It's already established our deep frying 2 turkeys already. So I mean that's already on the. I mean I'm just excited for that.
That turkey was good. That was good.
Bunch of damn vultures. I've never seen a turkey. I've never seen a turkey.
That was a 20-pound turkey gone in minutes.
5 minutes?
Less. 3 minutes.
Well, it was because we had to sit there for 2 hours and watch it. So
no, not 2 hours. 40 minutes. 45 minutes.
Well, here's the issue. When you have John, Trent, Aaron, all of us around the turkey, that's just you can't expect anything else than being on in 5 minutes. That's just
all the viewers know who those guys are.
Yeah. Well, if you like and subscribe, we'll drop our recipe for deep fried turkey in the comments. So that's an incentive more than anything. But
this is what they come for. You come for practice analysis, and then deep frying a turkey.
So all right, before we shut down Basic Blues Nation in the first episode, let's go to last call and
that's a good goal. Get the podcast about the first episode.
I mean, we might do it if we keep this thing going, or it's just gonna explode and jam the servers and shut down.
Coco, you made us aware you have a last call question.
Hang on. We got new people, so let me explain what last call is. So we end every show with last call, and basically what it is one final question that we pose to the group, kind of like yes or no format, but doesn't have to be yes or no. Basically,
it's never yes or no format.
No, the goal when we thought of it was to try to make it
rapid
a quick
fire.
way to end the show.
It was supposed to be rapid fire. Turns into our longest segment every week. On brand.
So, without further ado, Coco, go ahead.
All right, so this is fully my my thought process here. I wanted my dream Big Ten East conference. I know the schedule's changing and how we're gonna have core games and all this stuff. I'm gonna read off my perfect Big Ten East conference, and you guys say, do you guys agree with it? What teams would you keep in and out? Whatever. Okay. Penn State, Ohio State, Pitt, Michigan, Notre Dame, West Virginia, Michigan State. So those are 7 teams. Would you change any? Would you swap any out?
You confused me there because you didn't qualify that they were not going to be teams in the Big Ten. I thought it was going to be restructured, and then you threw Pitt, and I was like, "What the shit?"
No, Big Ten East teams. That would be my dream Big Ten East conference. We play those teams every year. We have all games are pretty much drivable. There's rivalry games.
I know this is a deep question though because that'd be an insane conference. I mean, whoever's coming out of there undefeated.
It's just like the SEC. It's like the SEC West. It's probably stronger than the SEC West.
It would be way stronger than the SEC West. But
all right, well, who would you want to kick out then?
I mean, you gotta put some doormats in there for us. Do you not love beating Rutgers by 50?
Oh, I love beating Rutgers. It's a nice pastime every year.
I like beating Rutgers by 50. You did throw Pitt in there. So
yeah, I was going to say, in all fairness, Pitt is in there.
So you do have Pitt in there. But I don't know. I've never really thought of it.
A true fandom, every single – yes, do I like beating up on Rutgers? Yes, but, I still love playing Pitt every year, just knowing that we have a true rival but I know Pitt and West Virginia.
I could go with or without Michigan State. I mean, the land-grant trophy is – cool, but Michigan State itself doesn't do much for me. The I mean, yeah, Notre Dame, obviously, that's always a fun matchup. Pitt, it would be fun to play Pitt. We just don't get much out of it. I mean, if they would agree to a 2-for-1, I think we'd have it on the schedule instantly. But they just won't do it.
Did you say Temple?
Do not say Temple.
I would say take out Michigan State, put in Temple. There's your doormat, and you have fun.
Temple might beat us. Well, they might beat us.
In 2015, that was fun.
Been done before.
All right, I'll go because we're going long as we always do.
Perfect example of last call though. Perfect yes/no question.
Turns into takes 3 minutes to ask.
The furthest thing from a yes/no question involved more thought than anything I've ever had.
I don't even remember everybody put down. So I was just all right. Last team I heard was Michigan State, so they get to go. So, all right. Team Jay Paterno or Team Michael Motti?
Can I be on neither? Like, I think it's a dumb feud. I think it's a dumb feud. They're arguing about stupid things, and out of context. The majority of the argument is out of context on both sides.
That is fair. That is fair.
So, and like Jay Paterno's arguing stuff that like we're not necessarily privy to either. He's like inside stuff. So it's like I can't agree or disagree with him if I truly don't even know what he's talking about.
If I really had to pick,
Michael Motti.
I'd say
what Michael Motti did for this program can never be forgotten ever.
That dude cuts his veins and it's just solid blue just comes out of his veins. Yeah. So,
and I'd say Michael Motti from the business perspective, more competition raises all ships. So more players in the NIL game makes everybody better. So our friend Jackson will be happy with that one, our economics guru. But Trent, what do you got?
For those that don't know, Jackson's our friend. I majored in economics, and I think he knows the least amount of economics out of anybody. So
here we go. Kyle literally thinks we make this podcast just for our friends.
I mean, technically, right now we do.
That's true. So, that's true. Like every single viewer should know all of our friends by name.
Well, the goal is to make the podcast big enough that they all do that.
If you want our gold subscription, you can have access to this to our group chat. You can see all it's just railing on each other for every single day.
All right, it's my turn.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So a lot of talk about Beaver Stadium renovations. What is one thing that you want to see at Beaver Stadium? And don't make it something obvious, something that's a little low
Wi-Fi?
key. No, not obvious, not better
not
internet
obvious.
Service. That none of that nonsense. But one thing that you really want that's not largely talked about, and then one thing that you don't want.
I want lights that are able to, like, all these SEC stadiums. They have it's an entire spectacle. We have like a huge fireworks display, but everyone has it. I want like Alabama has like the.
Oh no, I agree.
Light shows and crap make it a spectacle.
I mean, I agree 100% on board with that. We already do the Penn State is a show. Like it's a theatrical performance, especially that whiteout game. Why not add the lights to it as well? I'm on board with that.
Well, the last time we asked a question like this, I said hot water and I got yelled at. So I'm probably not going to go with that answer again. This is tough. I want better gates to get in for security because
I'm not even kidding you. They were both of mine. Gates to get in. The gates to get in. It's just the process, the secure. I don't know what it is. It's like there's 40,000 people at a gate and there's like 2 metal detectors, whatever you call those things, to go through. And it's like there's no lines, there's nothing. It takes 30 minutes to get in.
It's like cattle at the stockyards. It's like you're trying to
stupid.
Well, the reason why I say that is because I have a vendetta against the Beaver Stadium security now. After they told Alex, my wife, last year that you can't bring in the backpack that's specially made for stadiums, like that exact dimension clear, because it had straps on it. Sizing is okay, but it's because it has straps. So we go to the car, grab a knife, and cut off those straps. It's okay, but because it has the straps, it's a problem.
That's a safety hazard. You can do a lot of damage with those straps.
Yeah. So
that I mean, I'm fine with mobile ticketing because that's the way the world is now. But like, it just doesn't work that well. You sit there and hold your phone. You have to tap and then wait like 30 seconds. Tap and then it doesn't take, and then they're taking your phone, and it's not smooth at all. It conceptually it's there, but it just doesn't work like it should.
All right, we need to do one thing that we don't want to see.
Yeah, and that's really the only reason I asked this question, so I could, it's like a bill.
The obvious answer:
do not keep the bleachers. Whatever you do,
I was
keep the bleachers.
I was gonna say seat reduction. Like I don't want to see that at all.
Let the big donors have their nice fancy boxes and
their hot water.
If they want some 50-yard line cushion seat backs, fine. But leave me my bleachers. That is Beaver Stadium. That is college football. And it's part of the optics because, in those seat backs, you see every single empty seat. On a bleacher, people just spread out and it looks full no matter how full it is. So I don't know. It's just a big thing of mine. And the capacity goes along with that. I mean, you can't possibly get rid of bleachers and keep our capacity. So I
think that's the obvious answer.
Yeah.
What if there's one thing that I want to weigh? I mean, it'd be big. It won't go away, but big noon kickoff. I just hated the fact that our whiteout game was at noontime and not
before we started. Your answer was the Lionettes.
What do you mean? They're a staple of this program.
I'm joking. Kyle did not say he wants to get rid of the Lionettes.
Something that we can't control is big noon kickoff. I hate big noon kickoff.
Terrible. Well, absolutely terrible.
I want to know one person actually likes big noon kickoff as a Penn State fan.
Matt. Then the 90-year-olds.
I do.
It's like, yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I could be home in bed by 5 o'clock.
I like college football. I want to be able to watch all of the games from the comfort of my house.
It's not like we don't have a TV at the tailgate where you can do that already.
I said from the comfort of my house. That's what I said. So don't put words in my mouth, Coco. But
you could just not go to the game.
No. All right. We're closing it out right there.
Yeah.
We're not.
He knows where we're going with that. Coco.
We're not.
Oh, because Matt didn't go to the Rose Bowl game. That's right.
We're not. No, we're not. But
I should have brought my commemorative Rose Bowl ticket in.
This is first episode of season 2. There's a lot of changes. We're ending it on a positive note. We're all going to Illinois. That's the only thing that matters.
Champaign, Illinois, Rose Bowl.
Yeah,
you're right. They're pretty equivalent. You're right.
I hear people say
Auburn, or Auburn and
Champaign is the Pasadena of Illinois, from what I hear.
Oh, Kyle, real quick, throw Auburn in that Big Ten East because I would love to go to Auburn every other year for a road trip. Auburn's in my Big Ten East. Go ahead, Matt. Close it out.
But we need a catalytic converter to do that. We need to be able to drive there.
Now we
have that ready. Well, if we do a road trip, you said.
Sky Bar's waiting for us.
I love Sky Bar. Matt, you don't know what that is.
Right.
Just end it there now.
Let's close it out. Yeah, I don't have the frequent flyer miles, but thanks for tuning in. Make sure to follow us, subscribe, keep reading Basic Blues Nation. However you find us, we'll be there. Until next time, if there is a next time, we are Tailgate Talk.